I'm James Thompson. I'm the CEO of Automaton, the studio behind Mavericks Proving Grounds. Well, the genesis of Mavericks was actually around 3 years ago when we started working on a new kind of technology that enables much richer, massive scale MMO experiences. Even though Mavericks is a sort of battle royale game, and we've seen a lot of hype around that recently, it's a completely different approach, and it means that we have far more fidelity, much more tactics in the game. And so there are so many different areas in which Mavericks is actually quite different to what you'd expect. But it's really the culmination of a lot of different work and a very new way of building massively multiplayer games. Our first focus was that we will have a better platform than if we just took a last-gen engine, use the same approaches that the games on the market today are using. They're sort of limited in terms of certain scale. There's a lot of rewriting that would have to be done to make them hit certain performance targets, certain scalability targets, and the level of simulation we have in Mavericks. But at the same time, we're also blurring some lines in a slightly different genre where we're also a sort of open world MMO, RPG in a sense, and you have a character and you progress that character. And Mavericks is about also creating a world and a consistent place where you can demonstrate the skill of your tactics and your sort of battle royale style gameplay. So it's not just a menu, then a session. That's already fun, but we're actually enabling players to learn the map a bit more, learn the world, and we're going to develop that world over a long period, in particular building on top of spatial OS so that we can sort of do high quality gunplay simulation at scale without compromising. One of the biggest things about Mavericks is that even though it's a massive world, there's a lot of bespoke level design that goes into it. What we're actually showing today is only one sort of section, a Final 5 small section demo, that shows that one part of the Mavericks world is much richer than you might expect from such a big battle royale style experience. We're much more deliberate about how we're building this world, and we're sort of able to do that because of the approach we're taking, where it's much faster for us to develop on top of the technology we're using than in a traditional engine. We have all the sort of Rainbow Six Siege level gameplay of you can shoot walls down of different types, shoot holes through glass, break that, individual bullet holes, all the way up to blowing up ceilings, blowing up floors, blowing up walls. That uses a number of different systems, some of which are illustrated today in the sort of open environment that we're showing in the nature reserve. But the final builds are going to incorporate all of that together, and we're looking at sort of releasing that in a closed beta format in summer. So then we have another few months of further playtesting with a community there, where we make sure that all of this new stuff that's going in is really adding and making a much more compelling tactical experience. I mean, we've obviously seen a number of games that have promised a lot and then under-delivered. It's a theme. The way we've approached how we're developing, how we're going into closed beta and then into full launch is entirely down to making sure we have enough feedback throughout the development process. Its technical limitations have held this genre back for a number of years. People have thought about Battle Royale for many, many years. Obviously, all those ones that have come out so far are leveraging that fact that you can just about stretch that older architecture to 100 or so players, and it can just about work. Mavericks is a completely new architecture. We're thinking even bigger than that, and we're able to do far more simulation. And we're incredibly excited about what this whole genre will bring in the sense that the current games are being quite limited, and there's so much more going into our world that we want to showcase in our upcoming builds. We want our map to be more tactical, and that you can learn and understand and develop strategies, and then other players develop counter strategies. So there's a lot more depth, I think, to be had from this genre. I think the popularity so far just reflects a very fundamental excitement about playing with a number of other players in an intense PvP experience. But I think there is so much more to the genre that can be explored, and we're going to try a number of these systems out through our beta and then of course into our launch later this year.